Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Game 4 of the Steve Carlton 1972 replay in payoff pitch. He is on his West Coast swing, or the Phillies are. They played their second game in, uh, his third game in San Francisco. Started out playing at Chicago, then was home against the Cardinals. Now on a West Coast road trip, they're going to play the Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers, three in a row. Played Marshall and the Giants in the last game. This game we're in San Diego. The following game will be in Los Angeles, and Bill Singer will be his opponent on the mound. On the replay, Steve Carlton is 2-0 with an ERA of 2.08 in 26 innings pitched, 15 hits, 6 earned runs allowed. Let me check his walks and strikeouts. Looks like 9 walks, 22 strikeouts is what he has done on the replay to this point. This will be, of course, start number 4. It was on April the 29th, 1972. These records are what the Action PC replay has simmed for these two teams. And, of course, I'm letting the Action PC replay sim all the Philly games that aren't Steve Carlton starts. So San Diego 6-7, Philadelphia is 5-6. Starting pitcher, right-hander Steve Arlen for the Padres. He was 10-21 in 1972 with a 3.60 ERA. And, of course, Steve Carlton 27-10 with a 1.97 earned run average. And I've got the benches and bullpens for both teams, so we know who's available and who's not to be able to be used as pinch hitters and or pitchers. And I think everything else is pretty well set to go. Got the fast action cards. I will shuffle them one more time. Got the ballpark card there. One thing I forgot to check is what I believe the Phillies lost. I believe this was a loss from Steve Carlton in real world. I'll double check that right now. 1972 Phillies, April the 29th against the Padres. Yeah, they lost 4-0. Steve Arlen actually shut him out. Carlton had a complete game as well, but Steve Arlen tossed a 5-hit shutout at him for one of his 10 wins. So, yeah, they got their work cut out for them because they lost this game real world 4-0. All right. And I usually write that in over here, and I forgot to do that. So San Diego won the real game 4-0. All right, got as close to San Diego colored dice as I could find. Don't have any brown. I have to use the black and the gold. We'll take the fast action cards, shuffle them up, and flip them over. So there is no staleness here. We'll try to get something fresh. For pitcher hitting cards, Steve Carlton uses his number 10 that he's been using all year long. Steve Arlen will use pitcher hitting card number 5 based on his number right there. So we will get this ball rolling. Steve Arlen is finishing up his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing shortstop Larry Boa. Again, the way I play this is a hybrid of cards and dice and fast action cards, so you'll see a little bit of both going on there. And I think we are ready to go. Tabby's up here, but hopefully she stays quiet. All right, here's Steve Arlen to Larry Boa, and we're underway from Jack Murphy Stadium. We get an 11, which is patient on Arlen. That's an 0-3, so that's going to be a leadoff walk for Larry Boa. His automated steal number is a 4, and that's an 11, so obviously not going to get the good lead there. He will hold, and Tim McCarver is your batter. Carver, seeing what he can do. Hello, Tom. Good to see you. Yep, I think that's the way a lot of people play it, Tom. I think it's a decent way to play this, just not really confusing. The big thing is just to be consistent, play the same way every time, not switch it around. All right, here's McCarver, 4 for Arlen. That's a tough 17. We get those low numbers. Tough 17 is a strikeout for McCarver. So Arland, a walk and a strikeout. I do have the game up on the Action PC computer, but I'm going to score it after the fact because I think it messes up the flow if I try to do it while I'm doing this. It's just too much stuff going on. So here's Wally Montañez, the center fielder, and I'm pretty sure every game I've done so far, all 4 games, the lineup has pretty much been the same for the Phillies. I don't think they've deviated too much. 3 is defense. So we go over here to our fast action card, and the defensive check is an error chance on the third baseman. Error check on the third baseman. Third baseman for the Padres is Dave Campbell. His error rating is a 4. So we go to Jack Murphy Stadium and check out the error 4. Error 4 says a 1 to 39 will be an error. 40 or higher, he's going to make the play. Well, that's a 56. So he makes the play. Now the question is, what kind of play is it? Well, we go back to a fast action card and see what we got here. Actually, we don't need to go to the fast action card. My bad. We don't need to do that. It's a ground ball double play. Runner at first because we get a 3 here. Keep the original roll. We get a 3 here. He's a 6. He's a 5. The 3 fits. So it's going to be a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. And just like that, the Phillies are gone in the first inning. And like I said, this is only my 4th game in a while. Actually, my 3rd payoff pitch game in a while. So I'm still getting into the flow back into, because I've done Strat-O-Matic for so long. So I'm still trying to get back in the flow. And hopefully it'll be less chunky as I keep going, particularly on when to use the fast action card, when to use the dice, that sort of thing. All right, so Steve Carlton will be facing Daryl Thomas, switch hitting second baseman. We get a 7, which is in play, and we get a 90. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Bowl will take care of it. 1 away, and here comes shortstop Enzo Hernandez. Not a very good hitter. 5 is tough, 74 against the lefty. That's way out of range. That's going to be a fly to center. 2 down for Johnny Jeter. And I don't know, there's a lot of these guys on the Padres especially I don't know anything about. Here's Johnny Jeter. Don't know anything about Johnny Jeter. 8 is tough, 25, and that's a strikeout. The only thing I know about Johnny Jeter is he just struck out. Get those low tough numbers, you're going to strike out. So that's going to do it for the Padres. They come away empty. After 1 inning to play, it's no score from Jack Murphy Stadium. And the bull, Greg Luzinski, will come out. Okay, I did not know anything about Steve Arlen. Thanks for that background. I remember I had an old baseball card of Steve Arlen, but I don't know anything really about him. But I do know in the real world he shut out the Phillies 4-0 and beat Carlton. Here's Luzinski. 5 is in play, but a 77 is well out of range. That will be a fly to center. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Tommy Hutton, first baseman. Don Money is on deck. 4 is tough, 71, and that's going to be a fly to center again. 2 down. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Don Money. 11 is patient. 18, that'll be a walk. 2-out walk issue there. And I know this is not prime time to be streaming to get a lot of big audience here, but when the one game I did record, it took over 24 hours for YouTube to upload it, and I was like, I don't want to wait for that. So I'm just going to play it, and people can watch it whenever the heck they want to watch it, you know. All right, here's Mike Anderson, rather. That's a 10, which is ballpark. Ballpark and 95. 95 ballpark is going to be in play. So we check the in play result off of a 30. Well, 30 is a wild pitch. So it's not going to be actually, no, in play. The wild pitch has to come off of this. My bad. So 30 will be a good play for in play. And that's going to be a pop up to second. See, I got to get used to that because I think 30, and I keep forgetting that's a wild pitch, but that's only with the original check, not when I'm checking it in play. So Anderson is out. We go to the second inning. bottom of the second, I should say, and still no score. And due up is Nate Colbert. Now, I know about Nate Colbert. I know he's a big slugger. Oh, Joel, he became a dentist. All right, cool. Good deal. Find a place to put these already used fast action cards out of my way. All right. So Nate Colbert will lead it off. Colbert is in left field for this game. 4 is tough, 32. That's a strikeout for Carlton. Strikeout number 2. That brings up Cito Gaston. Certainly know about Cito Gaston. Best known as manager of the Blue Jays in the early 90s for a couple of World Series. 3 is defense. And we go to our card, and that's a range check of the left fielder. That's Luzinski. His range is a C. So we go to Jack Murphy. C range, 1 to 44 is a hit. Anything else is an out. That's an 81, so he will make the play. And there are 2 away. And I'll bring up Ollie Brown, downtown Ollie Brown. That's a 7, which is in play 19. And in play 19 is a base hit for Ollie Brown. First hit by the Phillies. Ollie Brown, no threat to run. Here's Dave Campbell. 8 is tough. 53. Only goes to 31. 53 is a liner to short. Snagged by Boa. And that's going to do it after 2 complete. We got no score. Remember, the Phillies lost this game real world 4-0 to the Padres. So not expecting a lot of runs, but you never know what the dice will say. Here's Denny Doyle. That's a 6, tough, 08, but that's going to be a strikeout. We get low numbers in the tough category. Strikeout number 2 for Mr. Arlen. Brings up Carlton. He's using pitch hitting card number 10. And that is derived from right here, batting number 10. 4 is tough, 23, so it's not going to matter. He strikes out. 2 down, and here's Larry Boa. 7 is tough again, but this was a 90. That's going to be a ground ball to short. 1, 2, 3 inning for Steve Arlen. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. It'll be the catcher, Bob Barton, followed by Arlen. And Arlen is using pitch hitting card number 5. So he'll be using that when he comes to bat. 11 is tough, 54. That's out of range. 54 is a ground ball to third. Easy play for Don Money. 1 down, and now we get Mr. Arlen getting the bat. That's an 8, which is tough. So tough, pitch hitting cards, when you get tough, you're pretty much going to be struck out. That is strikeout number 3 for Carlton. 2 up, 2 down for Darryl Thomas, second baseman. 5 is tough, 55. That's another strikeout. Strikeout number 4. And through 3 innings, we got nothing going on offensively. Go to the top of the 4th, no score. It'll be McCarver, Luzinski, and Hutton. Due up for the Phillies, trying to get something going here against Steve Arlen, the erstwhile dentist. 7 is tough, 86. Tough 86 is going to be a ground ball to second. 1 away. Here's Montañez. 7 is tough again, 62. And it's just out of range. 62 is a fly to left. So 2 up, 2 down. And that'll send up the bull, Greg Luzinski. 5 is in play, but 77 is way out of range. Another fly to center. And Arlen in a pitcher's duel locked in with Steve Carlton. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Still zip to zip. It'll be Hernandez, Jeter, and Colbert do it for the Padres. 7 is in play, but that's a 69, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Doyle makes the play easily. 1 down for Johnny Jeter. I'm assuming no relation to Derek Jeter. 7 is in play, 96. You get something that high, it's going to be a fly to left. 2 down. Hello, Ernest. 2 down. Bases clear for Nate Colbert. We get a 12, which is tough. 99. That's going to be another fly to left. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Padres. We go to the 5th. No score from Jack Murphy Stadium. Do it for the Phils. It'll be Hutton, Money, and Anderson. Seven is tough. 80. That's going to be a fly to center field. A lot of flyouts to center field in this game. In fact, the Luzinski and Hutton both are 0 for 4 with 4 flyouts to center field. That's interesting. Here's Money. He'll walk his first time. 10 is ballpark. 67 is going to be in the in-play category. So we're going to check the number here on in-play. You get a 63. That's going to be a ground ball to second. So ground ball to second will take care of Don Money. And that'll send up Mike Anderson. 6 is tough. 67. That's another strikeout. And for Arlen, that is his 4th of the ball game. Boy, it won't take long to put this in the Action PC computer with all these zeros going on. Here is Cito Gaston, followed by Downtown Ollie Brown and Dave Campbell, the longtime broadcaster. Gaston, 5 is tough, 25, and that's a strikeout. And for Carlton, that is strikeout number 5. Here's Ollie Brown. 6 is patient, 55, and that's going to be a base on balls for Ollie Brown. First walk issued by Carlton. In fact, Ollie Brown has reached base both times. That's a 6. He has no steal rating, so no worry about getting a jump or stealing. Hello, Dr. D. Here's Dave Campbell with 1 out and 1 on. You get a 6, which is patient, 32. 32 is going to be outside of his wild pitch range, so there is no wild pitch. So 32 patient is going to be another walk. Walk number 2 by Carlton. All of a sudden, 2 walks in a row, and the Padres are threatening for the first time in the game. 2 on, 1 out for Bob Barton, the catcher. The only good thing for Carlton is Arlen, the pitcher, is up next. 4 is tough, 89. Tough 89 is a ground ball to short, and this could be a double play. In fact, it will be because we got a 4 right here, and that fits in the 6 and the 9. So that will be a double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play, 643. Double play. If you're in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, they are the unofficial sponsor of Steve Carlton Replay. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Tell them Demo sent you. All right, top of the 6th. And it will be Doyle, Carlton, and Boa. Due up. I don't re-roll. I keep the original roll. That's how I play it. It's the way I've always played it. 10 is ballpark, 49, and that's going to be with a lefty hitter. 49 still in play. So we go here to in play. We get a 28, and that's a base hit for Denny Doyle. And there goes the no-hitter. He had a no-hitter through 5, but fails at this point. So Denny Doyle is aboard, and now Carlton can bunt. Carlton will bunt. He is a, let's get his regular card back out. Carlton is a C bunter. So we'll use the fast action card for the bunt. C bunter, it's a good sacrifice hit back to the pitcher. So in this case, sacrifice hit will go 1 to 4. Doyle will go to second. 1 out. And here is Larry Boa. 5 is in play. 28. That is a base hit. We'll check runner advancement on the fast action card. It says runner on second scores. So base hit, RBI single from Larry Boa. And the Phillies grab a 1-0 lead. 1-0 lead. That was a 5 on the D6s, which is above his 4, so the auto steal doesn't work out for him to get a lead. We'll go to McCarver. 7 is tough. 60. 60 is a fly to left field. 2 away. And that brings up Montañez. Oh, we got hopping dice around here. 9 is patient 35. Patient 35 is going to be a triple for Willie Montañez. Look at that. Patient 9 is a patient, and 35, it's a triple. It's the only triple for Montañez on his card, and he found it. A 35 is a triple for Willie Montañez. RBI triple, and it's 2-0 Phillies. Tom, that's the beauty of home brewing things. You can set it to play. I mean, this game is very fluid. You can play it any number of different ways. So if your home brew is a reroll, go for it. If it's not, that's fine too. To me, as long as you're consistent, you play it the same way all the time, then play it the way you want to play it. Always been my philosophy. Here's Luzinski. 9 is patient. 31, but 31 is a wild pitch on Arlen, and that will score the run. It's now 3-0. Steve Arlen falling apart with that wild pitch. That 31 falls in that 30 to 32 category. So it is a wild pitch. Oh, no criticism taken, not whatsoever. Here's Luzinski. 10 is ballpark. 30. And that's going to be in the wheelhouse. So we go over here to Luzinski's wheelhouse. 1-43. Check the fast action card. And it's gone. Greg Luzinski at 37 is a goner home run. Greg Luzinski, it got put in the wheelhouse by Arlen, and that is gone. 4-0. Phillies have exploded. And that was a score in reverse of the real game. Padres won the real game 4-0. And to think Arlen had a no-hitter coming into this inning. But boy, he's getting spanked around right now. Here is Tom Hutton. 6 is tough. 70. Finally gets out of the inning with a ground ball to short. But an Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning. And the Phillies give Steve Carlton a nice lead to work with. Arlen is a scheduled hitter. They're going to pull him because they're going to need offense. So Padres will go to the pinch hitter and then to the bullpen, as Arlen is set to be the leadoff man, but he will step back. So there are 4 right-handed hitters on the bench for the Padres on the active roster for this game. Gary Gestat, Fred Kendall, the backup catcher, Jerry Morales, and Rafael Robles. I think Morales is probably the most logical guy to use. Although he's 216. It'd be kind of cheating to use Robles. He only had 2 at-bats and it was 500. So that's I really don't want to use him unless he's the last guy available. Actually, Gary Gestat might be the best guy to use because he's got the better average. Gary Gestat's going to be used. So we're going to use Gestat. I guess that's how it's pronounced. Gestat is the pinch hitter. He will pinch hit, and then we'll figure out who the pitcher is going to be later. But right now it'll be Gestat. So if we look at the bench players, Gestat has just been used. In the bullpen, they got Acosta, Ross, and Taylor from the right side, Caldwell and Schaefer from the left side. That's who they would have available. So right now, Gestat facing Carlton. We get a 5, which is tough, 95, and that's not going to help the cause. That's a fly to left, so Gestat is out of there. Back to the top of the order for Darryl Thomas. 9 is ballpark, 57, but that for that. So we check the in play on Thomas. It's got to be a 26 or less to be a hit. It's a 94. That's another fly to left. So another fly to left. 2 down for Enzo Hernandez. Six is patient, 22. That'll be a base hit single. He just missed a triple, but that'll be a single for Enzo Hernandez. Only the second hit by the Padres. He's a 5 steal, but that's a 6, so does not get the jump. So we'll go to Johnny Jeter with 2 outs and a runner at first. 6 is patient again, 22, and that's a walk. So second patient roll in a row, and for Carlton, that's his 3rd walk. That puts 2 on for big Nate Colbert. 1 swing of the bat, and the Padres are right back in this ball game. 6 is patient again, but it's an 86. But that's still going to be a double for Nate Colbert. How about that? A double for Colbert. We know Enzo Hernandez is going to score. We'll check the fast action card for Jeter, see if he scores on the double. Oh, it says runner advances 2 bases, so he'll hold. But it is a 4-1 ball game now. RBI double for Nate Colbert. And that's 3 times in a row I've rolled a 6 and gone into the patient category for Carlton. Second and third, 2 outs. Second and third, 2 outs, and here's Cito Gaston. 7 is in play, 87. That's out of range. It's a ground ball to short to end the inning. Padres get a run, but that's it. We go to the top of the 7th, 4-1. And now, let's see for the Padres. The pinch hitter was Gestat. He can play second, third, and short. Wonder if they might double switch here somewhere. No, I think we're just going to go ahead and go with what they got. So coming up for the Phillies, it'll be Money, Anderson, and Doyle. So 3 right-handers are coming up. So we're looking at these 3 guys here for the Padres. Ron Taylor, I believe, was on the 69 Mets. He didn't pitch but 4 games that year. Acosta and Gary Ross. So they're going to go to Ed Acosta out of the bullpen. They will use Acosta. So we go from Arlen to Acosta. But we'll close the book on Arlen. He's going to go 6 innings. And he's going to give up 2, 3, 4 hits. They were all in that 6th inning. 4 runs. They were all earned. The big home run solo home run from Luzinski. He struck out 4 and he walked 2. It looks like unofficially. They'll all be straight when I put them in the action piece of computer. It'll all get worked out. So, but hopefully it's correct. Kind of do it on the fly. Hello, Captain Carl. All right, well then payoff pitch got it wrong because they're showing Jack Murphy Stadium. So I thought that was kind of unusual. I thought it was San Diego Stadium. But I guess just an error on their cards. Let's see here what Retro Sheet has to say about it. Yeah, the Retro Sheet calls it San Diego Stadium. So yeah, this should have been San Diego Stadium, not Jack Murphy Stadium. But, whatever. It's not, as long as the ballpark effects are correct and the range and error chances are correct, I can live with it. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Here's Don Money. Acosta to Money. 5 is in play. 74, though. That's going to be a fly to center. 1 down for Mike Anderson. So Carlton got some run support, got a chance to go 3-0 on the replay in his 4 starts. That's an 11. That's patient. 95, though, is going to be out of range. fly to left, 2 down. And here comes Denny Doyle. He got the whole thing started last inning with a seemingly innocent single, but he did it and started the ball rolling. 8 is tough. He won't roll anything this time. Toughen it. Well, maybe he will. Toughen a 20. Usually that's a strikeout. That's actually a base hit for Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle base hit on that tough result. That allows Carlton to bat now. Get him out of the way. That's a 3 tough 0-3. That's definitely a strikeout. And that will end the inning. So we go to the 7th inning stretch here in San Diego Stadium, a.k.a. later on Jack Murphy. And it'll be Ollie Brown, Dave Campbell, and Bob Barton, and a pinch hitter for Acosta if they get that far. Downtown Ollie Brown. That's a 6, which is patient again. 68, patient, is the base hit for Ollie Brown. Ollie Brown has reached base all 3 times, and I've hit that 6 more than I care to think of right now, but it's been happening quite a bit. Here's Dave Campbell. 4 this time, which is tough 90. Tough 90 is a ground ball to short. That's a 4, and that's a double play. 6 foot. There we get the tailor-made double play once again from Giovanni's Tailor Shop. And again, as Tom says, some people re-roll this, but I just keep it for simplicity's sake. 2 down, and here's Bob Barton. The important thing is you stick with it. If you don't keep it one game and then switch it off the next game, you be consistent as you play it. That's the part I think that matters. Here's Barton. 11 is tough. 81, just out of over on the left side. But Barton definitely didn't get anything here. 81's a fly out to center field, I should say. And that will end the inning. So we go to the 8th. That means that Acosta will go ahead and pitch this inning because he's scheduled to lead off next inning. So they will let Acosta pitch. And let's see here. He's going to face Larry Boa, top of the order for the Phillies. 5 is in play. 36, that's out of range. 36 is a pop-up to first. And that's handled by Colbert, 1 away. From McCarver. Carver's 0 for 3. 8 is tough, 95. Fly ball to right field, 2 down. And that'll send up Willie Montañez. 3 is tough, 13. That's definitely a strikeout. And that'll do it for Acosta. He's going to go 2 innings, give up no runs. He gave up 1 hit. And he struck out 2. Didn't walk anybody. So solid outing for Acosta. And now it'll be the pitcher spot at Acosta. So he will leave for a pinch hitter, and they'll bring in Jerry Morales. Jerry Morales will be the pinch hitter for Acosta, and then they'll bring in somebody to pitch the 9th. Not sure who that's going to be yet. We'll figure it out. It'll be Acosta, Thomas, and Hernandez, the scheduled hitters for the Padres against Steve Carlton. So Morales, he was only a .216 hitter against lefties. 5 is tough, 46. Oh, he just missed it. 45 would have been a single, but 46, we drop down here, and it's a ground ball to first. And it's an easy play for Hutton. He'll take it to the bag himself. And that'll be it for Morales. Here's Darryl Thomas. They just don't have a whole lot on the bench for the Padres, so it's pretty much stuck with who you have. 4 is tough, 31, and that is going to be a strikeout. And for Carlton, that is strikeout number 6. Brings up Enzo Hernandez. That is a 6, which is patient again, and a 20. And that's going to be a triple for Enzo Hernandez. 6 is a patient, and that's a 20. That's a triple for Enzo Hernandez. Single and tripled in this game. That brings up Johnny Jeter. Johnny Jeter, the center fielder, with a chance to bring home a run. 6 again is patient. 10 is a walk. And for Carlton, that is his 4th walk he has issued to go with 6 strikeouts. And boy, now you got Nate Colbert. Now you're in trouble if you're Carlton, because you got the big guy up there, Nate Colbert. And you wonder if they might go to the right-hander out of the bullpen, or if they're just going to let Carlton pitch to Colbert carefully, I guess. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Nate Colbert, big slugging Nate, and I just dropped one of my D10s. That's a real good thing to do when I'm trying to get this game going here. Try to shake him around before I put him in the tray and hold my pen at the same time. And, of course, it slips right out of my hand. Just what I needed. All right, so here we go. Nate Colbert. We get a 9, which is ballpark 66, but that's going to be an in play. So we see what happens on in play for Colbert against lefties. He needs a 22 or less to get a hit. That's a 76, so he will fly to center, and that will end the inning. So Carlton escapes the damage. We go to the 9th. It's still 4-1 favor of the Phillies. Padres will need a new pitcher, and they will go to right-hander Gary Ross. So Gary Ross it is. Gary Ross will be the pitcher. He'll be facing Luzinski, Hutton, and Money. You're in the top of the 9th of a 4-1 game. All runs were scored in the 6th inning. Zeros after that and before that. Hello, Scott. 9 is defense. Defense. And we're checking the error rating of the pitcher, Ross. And his error rating is a 3. That's a 48. 3, a 1 to 47. He makes the play, but that's a 40. I mean, it's an error, but that's a 48. So he does make the play, but just barely. Ross just avoids that error. 1 away for Tommy Hutton. 6 is patient. 16, that'll be a base on balls for Mr. Hutton. He's only a steal of 3. That's a 6, so no steal attempt. Here's Don Money. That is an 8, which is tough, and that's an 0-5. That'll be a strikeout. 2 down for Mike Anderson. And we get a 10, which is patient. That's a 0-0. We got a rare play, our first rare play of the game. It is runners on base, patient. So runners on base, patient. We are in this whole section here. Runners on base, patient. Because the 10 was the patient roll. So now we roll the 2 D10s. See what we get. I could do a fast action card, but when I go to the chart, I tend to like to use the dice. That's a 20. And pitcher uncorks a breaking pitch that bounces before the plate and gets the catcher for a wild pitch. Runner advances 1 base. If the pitcher's wild pitch range ends in 33 or higher, the next pitch is also a wild pitch, and the batter eventually walks. Well, it's going to be a wild pitch, but the wild pitch range is not 33 or higher, so there will not be another wild pitch behind it. It's simply just the 1 wild pitch. So a wild pitch will send Hutton to second base. He is in scoring position with 2 outs now for Mike Anderson. He gets to step to the plate again. That is an 8, which is tough, 79, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Carlton back out. Bullpen activity for the Phillies. Let's see who is the best option for closing things out in their bullpen. I don't think they had a whole lot of guys with a lot of saves, Bucky Brandon had 2 of them. Joe Horner had 3 of them. And that's tops on the team for the active pitchers. I don't guess they had a whole lot of saves back then. It's such a bad team. So coming up for the Padres is Gaston, Brown, and Campbell, all right-handed hitters. They do have some lefties on the bench. So if you brought in a right-handed relief pitcher, that would activate these lefties here. So looks like Joe Horner is loosening in the bullpen in case Carlton can't finish the game. He would come in. He was 0-2 with a 2.08 ERA and 3 saves in just 15 games. But they're going to give Carlton a chance to finish it. Facing Gaston, Brown, and Campbell, but Horner is loosening in the pen. So here is Cito Gaston. 6 again, patient. Weber's nailing that patient roll. This time a 94, though, is not going to matter. That's going to be a fly to left, 1 away. And here is Ollie Brown, downtown Ollie Brown. 8 is tough. 13, that is going to be a strikeout for Carlton. That is his 7th. So 1 out away from a complete game victory, and Dave Campbell stands in his way. Do they pinch hit for Campbell? He's not a very good hitter, so let's see if we can find somebody better for the Padres. It might be hard to do. Well, Fred Kendall's actually better. So we'll go with Fred Kendall to pinch hit. So Fred Kendall is going to pinch hit for Dave Campbell. Against lefties, he hit .275. Five is tough. 52, that's out of range. 52 will be a ground ball to third, and that'll do it. Steve Carlton, complete game victory, 4-1 over the San Diego Padres. If you're curious, 52 on Campbell, he would have grounded to first. That would have been much of a difference. So the Phillies win it by the score of 4-1. Get the totals. Ross in his 1 inning walked 1 and struck out 2. Didn't give up anything else. Let's see. There weren't any errors on either side. Kind of almost a reversal of fortune. San Diego won the real game 4-0. They lose this. Philadelphia wins it this time 4-1. Hits for the Phillies. I've only got them for 5 hits. They drew 8. They drew a decent amount of walks, 3 walks, but they only got 8 hits. But I'm sorry, they only have 5 hits, but 4 of them were all in the same inning. So they made them count. So 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. For the Padres, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got them for 5 hits. So Carlton, 5 hits and a run, which was earned. He did walk 4 and struck out 7. Yep, that takes care of that. Left on base. Phillies left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They left on 6. The Padres. Phillies left on 1, 2. I got them for 3 left on. All right, so that is your ball game. Phillies win it by the score of 4-1. Steve Carlton improves to 3-0. Arlen takes the loss. And the next game will be from Los Angeles. It'll be the Phillies and the Dodgers. Bill Singer will be the opposition on the mound for the Dodgers. And you'll get to see Wes Parker, Manny Mota, Willie Davis, Frank Robinson, Jim Lefevre, Steve Garvey, Dick Dietz, Bill Russell. And then on the bench for the Dodgers, they do have Bill Buckner and Maury Wills. And their bullpen, Jim Brewer, I guess, was the most well-known, and Hoyt Wilhelm, the knuckleballer. So that's what we'll have, and it looks like a slight change to the lineup for the Phillies. They will have Roger Freed instead of Mike Anderson starting that next game. So that'll be coming up in a few days. I try to push it out so that it's sort of like a pitching rotation where we do a stream of his and then wait 4 days or so, and then it's his turn to pitch again. That's kind of the way I'm trying to simulate it. So with all the snow we're supposed to be getting here very shortly, I'm sure as long as the power holds out, that's the key part. As long as the power holds out, I'll have plenty of time to not have to do anything else but play games. So, all right. So now I just need to put this in the Strat computer and we'll be all set. Not Strat computer, the Action PC computer. I'm so used to saying Strat computer. It's the Action PC computer that I'm talking about. So we'll be heading to do that tonight. By hook or by crook, I don't care what Tabby says. We're playing the Demolition League game tonight. Don't know what time, but at some point we will. And I have decided, and I did research on this, that since the 2020 Imagine set, they rate every pitcher using pitcher hitting card number 1. But I went back to 2019 in the prior year to see what those pitchers were rated with their hitting cards. And I'm using that hitting card going forward. So we're not going to use pitcher hitting card number 1 all the time. It's going to be whatever the particular pitcher was rated for the previous time. So that's the decision I have made that we're going to be doing with that. So that's going to start in the next game against the Phillies and the Angels. Where Dylan Bundy, I think Dylan Bundy still uses pitcher hitting card number 1, but Zach Wheeler will use, I believe, pitcher hitting card number 2. Not sure 100%, but I think that's what it is. But anyway, that's what I've decided to do. And there were a couple of National League pitchers that had like pitcher hitting card number 7. So it gives me some flexibility instead of having to stare at pitching hitting card number 1 all the time. It gives me some variety. In fact, if I look at the Strat cards here, where'd it go? Dylan Bundy uses pitcher hitting card number 1. He's a switch hitter. And Zach Wheeler, who's the starter, uses pitcher hitting card number 1 also. Now, if you go to further games, that'll move around. But I'm sorry, that's on the cards. I need to go. I wrote down the score sheet what they were, so I need to pull out the score sheet. I think that's downstairs. So, of course, all the cards are going to say 1 because that's the way they were written. But that's not what I'm going to be using. I'm going to use what they did in 2019. All right. So enough of that. This game is in the books for Steve Carlton. He is now 3-0. And like I said, in about 4 days, I'll do another one. And yeah, snow's coming Saturday afternoon. I think it's when it's going to start, and then all day Sunday into Monday morning, I believe. I've heard everything from a few inches to Armageddon, and the world's going to end. So, with an ice age and 2 feet of snow. So I've heard varying things. So it just depends on who you listen to. And they don't know the track yet. They don't know